Oops. Hold on. Let's see if this works. Test 1, 2. Okay, I think I can. Sound is good. Beep boop beep boop beep. I'm not gonna be painting this. Let's see. There we go. Let me go make sure that I'm not zoomed in. No, yeah, I probably will paint it at some point, just not today. Let me actually I'm gonna go turn down the sound real quick. I can hear myself all the way in here. There we go. I'll probably get music set up at some point for in here. Just so there's quiet music just kind of playing. Sounds great to you? Yeah, it's no, it's good audio. It's just I could hear it in the other room. Yeah. How's everybody's day going? Anne had a good stream today. I watched most of it, 90% of it. And then I went to lunch. And then I came back. And now I'm here. This is I'm pretty bright. I have a lot of light today. I was testing new light shenanigans. But that's just because I was testing. Ooh, he's really blown out. Whoa. I'm gonna have to go fix the white balancing. Why is it so dark? I'm gonna go reset the white balancing real quick. I'm gonna put this in the middle and see if that does anything. The ISO on the camera is good. Let's check the white balance. I adjusted the white balance before I came in here, and then I was like, that looks a little weird. Did that change anything? Let's see. There we go. That adjusted the lift a little bit. It's a little brighter and not as dark, washed out. Yeah. I'm coming back. Your sister got married on Saturday. Nice. Oh, nice. Is it just me? Or is that just very dark? I wonder if it's just because it's burgundy wine. On and I have a black glove. It's very dark, but it is what it is. Yeah, burgundy wine is quite dark. Because let's see, this is brown. I primed this right before the stream. And it's still quite dark. Interesting. I wonder if there's too much light. I'm sure it's fine. But yeah, happy birthday, Hyper. Hey, Quindy. Say it one more time. Like it looks, it doesn't look as dark in person. But yeah. Let's see how my Batgirl looks. I think she still looks okay in the light. Yeah, I'm testing some new lights, so I just wanted to make sure. She does look a little bright, but that's fine. She looks okay. It actually looks fine. I wonder if it's my laptop. Let me refresh. My iPad, not laptop. Okay. I guess it does look okay. Perfect. Maybe I'm just blind. Nice. Yeah, it's all dry. All right. Let's see. I gotta connect my iPad. I wasn't super ready to go live, but I went live anyway. You know what? Who cares? A lot of the times I'm too much of a perfectionist, so I just said sometimes I'm just like, just go with it. I'll figure it out. I think it's more fun sometimes that way. Nice. I was gonna look up. I'm looking up some artwork. Perfect is the enemy of done. Let's see. iPad to X3. There we go. You can see my iPad. Perfect. I did see it. I haven't opened it yet. I was going to open it soon, but I kind of got the gist, I think, from the title. I think we can talk about it now, I guess, if you want. But I think it is quite fun to do the promo models for the contest because people they just got them. But I guess then you can't post it for 3 months. So it's like, you know, what are your thoughts on that? So these red caps seem to be depicted. Oh, I got paint. I got burgundy wine all over me. Generically, I say generically, the theming is all the same. They kind of have like a red cap, obviously, but the only part that's on them that's red is their cap, generally. And then they have kind of like varying skin tones between grayish, greenish, like skin colors. So what skin tones? John Overton. That's right. My guy has like this one has like a little great axe, so I kind of like this. I kind of want to try some ghoulish grayish skin with red hat, red eyes. Oh, and the hair color is kind of cool too. Even though this one in particular doesn't have hair showing. So I can't do the teal. I wonder if we can add it in somewhere else. Maybe not. Oh, June offers some interesting OSL opportunities, but I also enjoy female hair for a personal level. I think either could be really fun. Maybe knighthood. Maybe we can do knighthood as the model. Okay, let's see. Top down text 3. All right, so for this guy, let's see. Let me make sure. Check in focus. Yeah, burgundy wine is so dark. Interesting. So dark. Just checking the camera. But so I like this guy because he has this is one of the red caps from the Bone 6 expansion, Briarwood Vale. And so we're gonna do a red cap with ghoulish skin. I haven't done ghoulish skin yet. Solver problem, John. So, and the red cap goes all the way to the back. Like, it goes all the way down. It has some cool stitching all the way down. And then I can try my hand at this axe. So I think we can base coat the skin. That's what Anne would do. And then line it. So you base coat it, then line it. Is that what Anne does? Or does she line it first? So if you were going to line it, would you line first and then base coat? Because then you can bring your liner in. And what would be a good base coat for gray? It's almost like a greenish gray. Ghoul skin. I guess I think I'm gonna start with the skin because it's not very exposed very much. And I want the gray to be a little bit greener. Base with as green, then layer in the grays, maybe. Hey, Slayer Street. That's fine, Kara. I'll do my best. You know, this is just for funs, to kill some time, and test camera stuff, obviously. I think I will start with a grayer green. This might be too dark. Moldy skin? Ooh. Moldy skin. What's this one? Bloodless skin? That might be... Ghoul skin? Hey, there we go. Speak of the devil. There we go. I think this is the color that I kind of want. I think this is the color. Ghoul skin. Carrie says, I think it is up to personal preference. Oh, Carrie's here. Look, I got all the good teachers here. I normally line after the base coat. Okay, good to know. All right, so if I want this to be my final color, do you just base coat it and then do the highlights and the shadows? Or do you do the shadow first? So we have ghoul skin and moldy skin. I am kind of starting to paint, yes. You are correct. This is the model that I did on stream right here, if you haven't seen it. With very, very heavy help from chat. This is my 5th model ever. And this was very, very heavily helped from Kara and Quindy and the rest of chat. Hey, Nightheart, welcome. Yeah, and then see, get right in there. She's really cute. I'm not 100% done with it because I didn't finish the feet. I didn't finish blending the highlights and blending the ears and stuff, but you know what it is. Still trying. All right. I think I'm going to go with moldy skin. I think this green's a little bit too dark, though. Trying and succeeding. Thanks, Quindy. All right, so we have ghoul skin and moldy skin. I'm just looking at the colors I have here. Bloodless skin. This is the highlight. So shadow, highlight, ghoul skin, moldy skin. Let's start with ghoul skin and see where we go. Ironically, John was going off on my page up, but now he's further along than me. Yeah. I mean, I honestly work better when I have reference, like when I'm trying to copy somebody. A gold medal, I will enter. I promised chat I would enter something for the first time into the MSP, and I think it probably will be the Batgirl. We'll see. Just because that's the thing I'm furthest along on. I haven't thought about it too much. But I think in her face painting class, Corporea taught starting at the shadow, violet red for a normal human skin tone, veneers, and work up. So you can start faces and skin with base coat and shade down. Shade down? Like towards the shadows? Because I think most people that I see, don't they do like dark to light? Is that what most people do? I think that's like a normal. All right, what brush do I use? Let's see. He has armbands. So he has armbands there. So those will be kind of a creamy white, or maybe like a dirty brown. He has armbands along his wrists, and then elbow and face. Okay. I'm just gonna do his whole arm. Personal preference, okay. I probably will step in on a couple of classes this year. Do I have too much light? Let me test something real quick. No? Oh, you know what? I adjusted this for the camera. Let me move it back. Sorry. These are heavy These are heavy, so I got to make sure that they're correct, so I don't end up damaging anything. That should help a little bit. I moved the top light out of the way so I could get the camera in. Hey, Spike A. I also try to paint back to front. I do skin first with shadow up to highlight. Okay. Then clothes, then armor, etc. So I accidentally paint a bit over something. Yeah, I think that's going to be my style too. Is maybe, yeah, I do like the front to back approach. I know everybody does it different ways. Oh, okay. All right, I'll do Hyper Bunny's mid-tone idea. So what did I put on the palette? I put Ghoul Skin, which will probably be my shadow. This is my mid-tone, and that's my highlight. Okay. And what I generally like to do is put it on my palette in the order. You know, shadow, mid-tone, highlight, in that order on the palette. Does anybody else do that? And do y'all, I mean, I guess most people, right? You put all your paints out at the same time. So like you put all your stuff on the wet palette that you're going to be using. Okay. Let's get ready. Oh, the light is a little better for me, actually. Let me focus. Here we go. It does look a little bit better for me. I saw Anne was doing the, she's doing Sister Sophie this morning with the chromish, like really reflective armor. So, I mean, that's a really cool, like, effect if you can get it to go, right? I know that Derek did it for one of his entries for the Golden Demon. Planning is for nerds. You know what you know what I'm not doing this stream is brush licking. I think I've kicked the habit. I got a lovely email from Mr. Jeff Davis. He sent me an email like, because he's like, hey, I saw you on Reaper Live do this, and he asked me why. He's like, why do you do that? Why did you do that? And I was like, I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know 100% why, but in my mind, I was thinking my brush has too much water on it. And so in my mind, what I do is I do that to get water out of my brush. I just felt like that was a good way to do it. And then he sent me a very lovely email explaining a bunch of things to me and showing me this was too watery. Yeah, Jeff he's a great teacher. And he got it through to me. I think this was too watery. I think my brush was too wet whenever I grabbed this paint and put it on here. You can see I'm kind of just globbing it on there. I think it was too wet. So if you have too much on there, if it starts to beat up like that, I've seen Anne go in and kind of soak it up with a brush that doesn't have any paint on it. Oops. So I would like to say that I am a couple of days now without brush licking. And finally, I know you guys have probably been paying attention if you've been around for like a week or so, but finally figured out how to mount one of the big cameras, and now this is in a 4K feed from the the top down camera, as opposed to 1080p like it has been. So it just helps with being able to digitally like move it around and stuff like that, digitally enhance it and zoom in whenever I need to, etc. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna add, I can still see a lot of the gray underneath, but I think that's okay, right? Because I want this to be a little bit grayer, gray-green, ghoulish. I don't think he has it. I don't think his knees are showing. Oh, actually, it might be. I think his legs might be showing. Maybe not. Actually, I think it is. At least his left leg is showing a little bit. And yeah, sorry, checking up on. You might have already talked about your dark prime coat you used. This is burgundy wine. So, burgundy wine. I haven't used it yet. I know Kara talks about it all the time. And so I wanted to try it, obviously. Because I used brown liner for the bat, and I felt like that was like really, really, really dark. So, but I think that's fine. Brown liner was okay. All right. Got the base coat. Kara's already here. Oh, I gotta do his ears. Don't forget his ears. Also got my visor. Probably won't use it right now, but I'll try to use it later. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not using autofocus today. I got the black gloves just to see if it would help with the autofocus, but I think I'm just gonna try to not use autofocus at all. and just keep the miniature in a spot to keep it in focus, etc. I think it's doing, I think I've been in focus a lot more than I normally am so far. So far on the stream, I've been more in frame and in focus than I have in the past. So I'm just trying to focus on that. I like that color so far. I'm still doing a bunch of research on the lenses. I think I'm gonna order the lens that Luca uses. I think that one's really good. So we'll see. Because a lot of the lenses that we have here aren't meant for this. Like, the lenses we have are meant for, like, shooting, like, videos, like, interview style, like, videos, not up close. We only have a few, like, up close lenses. Like, this is a 100mm macro lens, the one I'm using right now. And so I'm really blown out, aren't I? I have so much light in here. Focus is a boss. All mini painters fight on Twitch. Focus? Oh, yes. Focus, staying in frame, and yep. I think that's the hardest thing about streaming miniature painting, to be honest. Especially, I've noticed whenever I was working on the bat and I was working on something that I was really into, I'd be like, I would just be focusing on this and not paying attention to chat and stuff. Matte medium. Nice. It's been a long time since I primed a mini. Nice, Zebo. Yeah, I am a bit overexposed. I have too much light on me, which I could fix that, I think. Let me turn down the. I want to turn down this brightness and turn down this brightness. Okay, I turned down the brightness a little bit on those. So now it's messing with the green screen back here. But I'm not as... I'm a little too bright, but now the green screen's all messed up. Me. All right. That's a little better, brightness-wise. Okay. Now, I don't think I need to line... I guess I will line this edge. Like, so when you line, I'm assuming you line like where all the different sections touch each other. So like he has these armbands, so you would line between the armbands and his skin, just a slight like whatever the shadow color is, I guess, right? And then same thing for like where his arms and his pants are right here, where I kind of overbled right there. You would line that with whatever the shadow color would be. Is that right? Okay, my shadow color is going to be this color, which is ghoul skin. Yes. All right, I'm gonna get a tinier brush. All right, a little quick brush care sentence or question. So you wash your brush, you wash it out, and you kind of do it on your paper towel. And then when you store it, what do you do now? You just lay it flat, or something else? I think we're gonna use this brush to do some aligning. All right, let me adjust focus a little bit. There we go. Um, how do you have a clip wall? Sorry. Drips down, clipped to something, of course. Oh, you're talking about the brush. Okay, not with the tip touching. Got it. Quindy lays flat, upside down is best if you can. You don't want bristles up because water seeps into the what that starts with an F. Fennel. So you wanna try to get your brushes like upside down, basically. Ferrule, that's the word. I knew it started with an F. The ferrule. I can't really tell a difference between this color. They're really close. These two colors. They're pretty close. And I probably need to use a smaller brush. I think I'm using too big of a brush. Hey, Paul. Anne doesn't bother, though. She says capillary actions make the water go up anyway. Yeah, I think I'm using too big of a brush. That's another thing I'm getting used to is like when to use certain brushes. Yeah, I think this brush is too big. But brushes Texas size. And the ferrule. And most importantly, don't bend the tip. If you get a touch of paint in your ferrule, you can always use an inch trick to get it out with a cleaner. I do have brush cleaner here. The what's it called? The stuff that comes in that little cream bin. Magic something? Yeah, this green is they're really close in color, so shape the tip flat from pretty. All right, let me get a smaller brush. Masters, that's what it is. I have Masters. Oh, this is much better. I'm just basically trying to line everything that's touching up against. Another piece. Taste the rainbow. Like in between all of his little fingers here, that's the idea, right? Is you want to basically line where the fingers touch, where the shadow would sit, with this shadow color. You want to use as large of a brush as you're comfortable with. You risk the paint drying on the brush and overworking the paint on the surface. Okay. I see. I'm also going to paint in between the little bandages here. And I notice he has these little muscles. Like, I can see the muscle lines, the definition. So I'm going to, I guess you put the liner, the shadow, inside of that muscle definition, the cracks. I guess that's what washes do. Oops. I got paint everywhere. I use the Master's brush cleaner for regular use and for really bad stuck on paint. Yeah. I use the Master's for when we do the paint intakes. I normally try to use the brushes over the course of multiple things. Okay. Feel a little better about it. Since they're so close in color, so I used these two as the base coat. The one on the left is the base coat, and the one on the right is the one I just did the shadows with. So they're pretty similar. They're really close in color, so it's just really hard to see the difference. But yeah. All right, skin base coated. Now I kind of want to do the hat. Base coat the hat. So the hat's going to be a red, which I think is really good that we did burgundy wine, because so now we do another red. But what color red? I mean, it's going to be pretty striking, right? Because the only red that's on this model that will be the hat. And the hat goes all the way around. And our painting group is thinking of running a paint take. Any tips? Dragon's Lair has a small convention called LairCon. Dragon Lair is that your game store? I thought it was, or is that Dragon's Den? Paint and take for the tips. Dragon Red, Crooked Crow. Hey, Crooked Crow. Hey. Let's see. Dragon Red. Let me see what color that is. What number that is. I don't have the numbers memorized. But for tips for paint and take. So, Hyper Bunny, what I do is I like to have a table that is the admin table. 9401, thank you. Thank you, chat. 9401. 9403. 9404. There it is, Dragon Red. I'll probably go darker. I think I agree with you. Blood of their enemies. Crusty and gross. Oh, I see. Okay. I see. Yeah, we'll do Dragon Red. I mean, it's pretty dark, but it allows me to highlight it up, right? We'll see how it looks when it's on there. It looks pretty dark already. So, but what was I saying? I like to have a admin table at, like, just somewhere, and then that's where you are. And you have all the miniatures and stuff there as well. And then I kind of walk through the steps. I say, choose a model, and I'll clean it for you, and then we'll get you going from there. I buy little Dixie cups. I use I buy like little plastic Dixie cups in bulk, obviously, like 400 at a time or whatever. And I get blue poster tack. I order a bunch of blue poster tack, and then I just cut them into little tiny squares. So I cut off a little strip, and then I put them on the bottom of the cup, so they have a little cup that they stick onto, so they can paint holding the cup. And then when they're done, they can take the model off of the cup and put it inside, so they can carry it around or put it in their backpack. So while it's still drying, they can walk around with it. So people respond really well to that when I did it at BGG. So that's just what I do. Generally, if you don't have placemats that come with the paint and take kits, you can get paper plates. So I just go buy a bunch of paper plates for people to mix their paint on and then throw it away when they're done. So that's what I do. That's the best advice I can give, I think, is just have an admin table and then have a brush drop off. So people, when they're done, they can come drop their brushes off, and a kind of a little trash can area. And you have the brushes next to where all the models are. So they get everything at the admin table, and then they go sit down. All the paints are at the table. And then when they're done, they bring you back the brushes and throw away the plates. And then that way you don't have to like constantly get up and micromanage everything. Just make sure that they are keeping their place clean by bringing you stuff and things like that. So that's how I've found it to be the best. And then really all you have to do is water, and just change the water out whenever people are done. And so that makes it a little bit less stressful. So you don't have to like micromanage everything. Just kind of put a little bit of the onus on the people that are coming. There we go. But yeah, that's the best advice I got in my couple of years of running paint and takes here now that I have under my belt. It's been the best. Slowly got a system down, and it works. And then obviously give tips and tricks if people want help, or and things like that. We do sell kits, yes. Mm, 4th of July this weekend too. Anybody gonna do fireworks stuff? I haven't really done much fireworks stuff in the past couple of years, to be honest. Haven't done much fireworks stuff the past couple of years. We just go to the in-laws and sit by the pool. That's generally what we've been doing. I feel like fireworks was always like, I don't know, for now that I'm older, it just felt like a younger thing. But I know people still do fireworks stuff with their families, etc. Try not to touch the skin I just did. But also trying to get in the shadows there. Perfect. Sorry. Quindy, you don't care for fireworks? We got flaming poop emojis and winged unicorns because I'm noise sensitive. Oh, I see. It doesn't get dark this time of year in Alaska. Oh, interesting. He saved the fireworks for New Year's. That's interesting. I never thought about Alaska. Oh no, I touched my skin. Mm. Sorry, I'm just checking the focus. There we go. I'm learning to keep it in one spot. We'll get there. I'm doing way better today than I did last time, so progress. Upwards. I accidentally painted the shirt, which I shouldn't have done, but that's okay. Because the shirt's going to be not this color. Good thing about paint, you can paint over it. All right, double checking. Perfect. Red cap. Thinking if I should go up on the ISO or not on this camera. Let me try. Let's try that. Hey, Raiders. Sorry, I missed the raid. I'm sorry. I was focused. The mini Dixie cups are brilliant. Indo? Yeah, the mini Dixie cups are awesome. Yes, especially because it makes it really easy to transport when you're done. So, like, if your class is ends or your session ends and they need to wait for their paint to dry, they're not carrying around a miniature in their hand. That way you can just blue tack it on the bottom of a Dixie cup. They can put it in their backpack. They can carry it around. Smoth use shot glasses. Also, who is the raid from? I can't see it on the chat that I have. I have an embed chat from all of the different. I have Facebook, YouTube, chat open, so it doesn't show. I don't have Twitch chat per se. Thank you for the raid. Oh, Death Cafe. Awesome. Hope you had a good stream. Today's Monday, so hopefully everybody had a good Monday. Welcome in. My name's John. I work at Reaper. Been here for almost 16 years now. Okay. I kind of want the hat to be darker. I mean, I guess that's what we're going to do, right? We're going to go up in brightness. So we started dark red. Almost the same color as the burgundy. Just slightly more red. And then we'll go up from there. Death Cafe is a cool name, by the way. Finished off. Hey, it's I haven't finished a miniature yet. I guess I finished one. Haven't finished very many. This is the way. Okay, so we used Dragon Red as our base. I guess I should make the eyes the same color, huh? Let's do the eyes the same color. For this, I'm gonna try using this. I haven't tried using this yet, to be honest, so we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna take this off for a second. Here we go. Hi, chat. We're doing it. This is the way. These are brand new, haven't been used yet, so we'll see how it goes. So I'm doing the eyes the same color as the hat. My depth perception. My depth perception. I accidentally touched the inside of the nose there. Pretty good. Crooked Crow. Yeah, my eyesight's not that bad yet. What's my highlighting color for the red, for Dragon Red? I don't know yet. Say a prayer to the eye gods. I think I love when people like have big eyes using these things, looking at the camera. I guess a lot of people have emotes and stuff like this, right? Where they're like, let's see. All right, let's look at red highlight color. Just looking real quick at the palette here. We could use Fresh Blood as the highlight color. Or do you think this is too bright? Cinnamon red, Casmania says. Cinnamon red. Cinnamon. It keeps autocorrecting to Donna. 9404. Here we go. This is more like it. I live Sejuani. Scarlet with underpainting. So then we could do this as our kind of mid-tone to highlight there. All right. So light is coming from the top. We'll just do that because I'm basic. And I don't want to mess with light stuff. Let's retouch up the skin. So, Quindy, you said to go darker, right? Obviously, because that's what I want to do. How would we go about doing that? Would you just add gray into it? So use the same color that I was using and just add gray. Hey, Roadside. Or, because I don't want to do black, right? Because black would just overpower it. Or I just find a different color that's a good shadow. So I was using ghoul skin. And highlight the edges of the hat and the bumps. Yeah, when I do the highlights for the hat. I kind of want to retouch the skin up real quick. Add some purple into your shadow. Oh, purple. Okay. So I did ghoul skin, which I still have on my palette. How much? Which purple? Like a darker purple or a lighter purple? +1 for purple or dark red for the skin to make him still feel alive. And this is for the shadow, right? Shadow of the skin. Purples. I have so many different options. Runic purple? More burgundy. Dark purple. Okay. Okay, dark purple. So there's runic. There's Styx purple. Ooh, nightmare. Smoth. Nightmare. Nightshade purple or nightmare. We have a nightmare black, but no nightmare purple. Oh, just a little bit of burgundy wine. I could just do burgundy wine, yeah. I still have it on my palette. Let's see what happens whenever. Let's look at the palette there. Obviously, it's a little bit too bright. Things are a little bit blown out, but so. This is the color that I'm getting. Ah, tilted it too much for you. There's too much light on the palette. There's too much light on the palette. All right, so purple. I think it's a little bit too purple right now. So I'll just add more of my highlight color. I mean my shadow color into it. Okay. Nightshade purple, okay. All right, let's see what I can do here. Sorry. My hat got in the way. I feel like this might be too purple, but I guess that won't matter, right? I think it's too purple at the moment. Just gonna add more of that highlight color into it. Make it a watery glaze consistency. That's fine, Smoth. You're good. Yeah. I'll have to see what it looks like when it dries. Okay, I see. I do like it a little bit more that it's dried now. I did too much right here. I put a lot right there. Give some life to the skin. Layering. Layering and glazing. I'm also touching up where I accidentally touched it with the red earlier. In some sections. I'm going to do another layer down here because it looks like it's not as dark. I'll hit that again whenever I go back and do the boots later. There we go. Looking decent. Decenter. Decentest? Decenter? I notice I have to, whenever I wear the visor, whenever I put the visor down, I have to get pretty close. And then my hat gets in the way. So, I gotta test the angle. So I have to figure out a better way to use the visor. Because I feel like I have to get really close with the visor. See, my hat gets in the way. But I have to get that close in order to get this in focus. Any tips? Anybody? Any visor users out there? If I wasn't painting on stream, I would get that close. But I kind of wanna. No, I'll finish the skin first. Just touching up. I touched the ear there. Oh, this is what I wanted to do. Just go up here. I'm trying to tighten up this little edge. Okay. I go shrimp mode. That's true, Quindy. Yes. Shrimp. I use reading glasses, but I changed my magnification lens to less. Flip the hat backwards. All kids could. Yeah, I could do that. I guess the hat's really not the issue. It's the microphone is on the hat. So here's the microphone. I wonder if there's a good place for me to put it on here. I don't think there is. Let me flip my hat around. So I wonder what happens if how's the sound there? Can you guys still hear me pretty okay? Okay. So I just put it on the desk. I put it on the desk facing up. So it's sitting on the desk in front of me, facing up towards my mouth. So now I can get in here. Just barely. I have to scrimp a little bit. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, I'm going to mix up some more of my shadow. I'm going to mix up some more of my shadow real quick, because I used most of it. But this time I'm going to do a little bit less of the purple. Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right. It is very if you mix a lot of this, it almost turns gray, almost. Wow, you don't need to use a lot of the purple. The purple kind of overpowers it a little bit. Oh, sorry. I was focused on mixing my shadow color. Just gonna scrimp a little bit. Now, I'm assuming most people will kind of like do like a thick edge around where your shadow is and then go back and clean it up. Kind of tighten it up. Like almost like coloring in the lines. And then you go back and kind of make it thinner so it's not as, thick of a border. I'm assuming. Lots of back and forth? Yeah, it is. So far. You can put water in your brush belly, then use a dot on the brush tip to blend, but it takes practice. Oh yeah, I'm not that far yet. Yeah, it is a lot of like going in and out of the edges. I feather my liner in with a bit of water because I'm tedious. Feather. I feather my liner. Okay, I see. So feathering is like, it's like, so feathering is like if this is my edge right down here. So when you're doing your liner, you do the liner across next to the edge, and then you feather it towards like the mid-tone. And feathering just means to drag it, like kind of drag it out. Yeah, boy. So for instance, I'm just gonna practice, I guess. Let's say this line's my edge right here. That's my edge. And so if I was going to shadow or feather my liner, so I would do my liner all along this edge like this. And then what you do is you kind of do this. Just a back and forth motion, or do you do it all the same like direction? Feathering, I have learned, means different things to different people, and it very much depends on who you ask. Okay. So I guess in my mind, feathering is the act of doing back and forth like this, but in a downward motion. But I guess if you were going to feather your, I guess in that case you would do it this direction, like towards your midtone. Like that. And then I use a brush with just water to blend that in like a glaze. Okay, so then you take a different brush that just has water on it. And then you kind of do this. It's like almost like wet blending. I think technically that is called wet blending, right? Feathering. Okay. You clean your brush first, Casmania. So, Carrie, are you feathering this direction, north and south, like towards your midtone, or are you doing it along the edge of the model? So you would line like this. So line it, and then take your brush with water, and then, oops, that's probably too much water. And then feather it in. I think that's too much water. Yes, wet blending back and forth until the line to midtone blend is smooth. God, there's so many different ways to blend. I think I used too much water. Okay. Two colors together while both paints are wet. Okay, but so this is technically not, I guess, wet blending. It's turning something into, it's going from like, you're going from your liner to a glaze. So you're turning your liner into a glaze. I really thought I knew, and then I went to Adepticon and took a class, and now it's like I don't know definitions anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Because somebody was talking about, I think it was Angela Emery, when I talked to her at North Texas RPG Con. Okay, so yeah, my water was too wet. All right, I'm gonna try it on the other side with a different color. Let's do the orange color that I have here. So I would like, this is my liner. my shadow, I guess. And then I would take my wet brush, get it wet, dry it off, and then kind of glaze it. I wonder if I just don't have enough paint in the liner. I mean, that looks decent. Yeah, the liner is still solid in the crack, but glazes into the midtone with a damp brush. Okay. I forgot what term Kara used for that kind of blending. Okay. Void, just calls it void. Void blending. Okay. It also works better on a flat surface, smooth surface. Yeah. Yeah, it's better on this. Feathering out. Okay, feathering. Okay. Glaze into a feather. I mean, it looks decent on here already. I mean, obviously, I could tell it working better if it was on a flat surface. I wonder if I could do it. Oh, I can just do it on back here. On the back. So if I did like this, that's my... Okay, take my damp brush, and then you kind of take this, and you... Is that the right brush motion? Is that the right, some people lick their brushes to remove the paint and then feather it out with saliva. I did hear, Michael, Janae told me that. Feathering your wet paint, use a clean damp brush, okay. Ombre, yeah. So it's kind of like this. I gotta see what this looks like when it dries. But I think my instinct is to do, because I was doing this brush motion, back and forth, down. I don't know if that's right. I guess my next instinct is to do it like this way, but with a singular stroke, right? So if I did like that, and then I get my damp brush, and then I do like that. The squiggling back and forth is the right way to do it. I see how much more paint you're pulling by doing it. The second way, you want to be thinning it out as you squiggle. So the first way is correct, the first way I was doing it. Side to side when feathering, but I've always take the definition more literally and create effect with tiny lines. Okay. Yeah, I can see there's a lot more paint in this because I drug it a lot more down. But this, you can see it's fading into, it's more opaque on the edges. Opaque, is that the word? It has more opacity. It's opaque is the right word. The more opaque something is, you can see through it, or the less opaque. I don't know the definition. Okay, so back and forth like this. And then when do you reload your brush with water? I guess after you do it once, two, three, or four times, you get it wet again, and then go back again. Not see-through. Okay, so the more opaque something is, the more it's it has 100% opacity basically, or 0% opacity. You can't see through it. Okay, more opaque, can't see through. Okay, so obviously I left some gaps. Like I didn't feel like I grabbed enough paint. You can see where there's like gaps. I guess you have to know how much paint to like grab. I think I would do it in bigger. I think I'm doing it in smaller sections. I think you need to do something like this where you do like big swatches, right? Big back and forths. Like that. Translucent. Okay. Transparent is like clear glass. Okay. Opaque is solid. Yeah, because I've heard of people mixing colors because one is more opaque for like coverage and stuff. So like you would use a white that has that's really opaque mixed with another color to help the coverage of it, like when you're base coating and stuff. That's because you're doing such a long line, so the paint is drying as you're trying to pull it. Okay. I think I have the right concept, right? That's the right idea for the feathering of the liner to blend it in. You'll leave more pigment at the end of the stroke and also at the tip of the brush. I learned that with glazing when we were practicing glazing. I'm going to keep this out so I can practice stuff on it. All right, let's put what I just tried into practice a little bit. I don't know where though. I don't know where I can practice it. I mean, this has such a small area to try to practice it on. And not like on his arm. It's not super ideal. Could try it right underneath his elbow here. Okay. So the shadow was this color. So I do that, take my wet brush, and then feather it out. Yeah, I'm just learning. I like doing different techniques. I think I like that a lot once it dries. I think I'll like that a little bit. It kind of almost looks like freckles because I think there's little spots here. It's the feathering. This feathering the liner is almost like glazing. I mean, if that's what it feels like to me. You're just using another brush, like a wet brush, to do it instead of mixing it on your palette and then you're like putting it with drops of water, etc. Base of learning. Let's see. What should I do now? I kind of want to base coat the shirt. Just so, you know what? I'm just going to base coat the shirt, and then that's what we'll end for today. And now, okay, let me show you the picture I was using. That we looked at the beginning of the stream. Uh-oh, I lost it. We looked at this one. And then I clicked on this guy. Okay, found it. iPad, actually. So this is the one, this picture right here was the one that we started like looking at. So, I suspect this is a gold medal type technique, not a tabletop one. Yes, blending is the thing that I've been kind of learning. I think that's the thing that I'm on now. Because I think that if I get blending down, it'll help me a lot. You know, I kind of want to do in the stream with dry brushing. I haven't really done dry brushing, so I might dry brush this this wooden thing. But I know that because that's like one of the first things you learn. So okay, so I the base coated the green, right, and kind of did a little bit of shadowing stuff, but the blue, this kind of faded blue. Do you guys have a color? I'm trying to look. What would be kind of a... It's not too bright of a blue. I don't know the color super well. So let's see. Let's go back to Reaper. Blue. It's almost like a gray blue. So dragon blue. Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin blue? Oh, I don't have Hobgoblin blue here on my palette. 56, Quinty says. Templar. Templar blue. Templar blue. I also like 9420 Glacier. All right, let's see. So Quinty says Templar blue as the base coat for base coat for his chest piece or his shirt. Also, have you noticed that earlier, whenever I vortex mixed my burgundy wine, when I vortexed the burgundy wine earlier, and then I opened it, it slowly was bubbling out. Ooh, ashen blue, that might be good too. Do you know what color ashen blue is? Nice, Carrie. Ashen blue. 57. Oh, it's like right next to it. They're pretty close, right? I think this would be the highlight. The one on the right is ashen blue. But I think I'll go with the Templar for the darker. Alright, so his shirt's all right here. What size brush? I guess I gotta get used to this. So far, whenever I'm doing like base coats and stuff, I've really enjoyed this brush. This is a number 2 flat. I've really enjoyed it, but sometimes, because it's really nice to get into like little small cracks and stuff, but sometimes it's a little unwieldy. I enjoy Brioni blue. Brion, and Ashen Blue in the same triad with Templar in the middle. Briony Blue. Sorry, typing. 55. We can do that. Briony's blues. Briony is darker, yeah. They're all right next to each other, so I figured. We can start with Briony. Brion. I'm not using that brush. Yeah, it's really hard to know which one to choose to do. All right, let me check focus real quick. No, I touched his arm. I couldn't remember if his pants and his shirt were the same color. I think they were. Almost kind of like how he had like almost like overalls on. Or like a unitard onesie. I wore plenty of those in my day. Just making sure that I don't touch the hat like I just did. Rip. Is that the hat right there? Sorry. My head got in the way. So when you do that, what Anne would call a blorf, if you stop and get your brush wet with water, you can wipe that pen away off of the place you didn't want to. But you have to move a little quickly. Okay. A blorf. I know blorfs. Where did I touch? I touched somewhere. Oh, the hat. Might be too late. Yeah, I'm too late. It's okay. Luckily, we still have our color on the palette here. Blorf. I gotta remember that blorf if I mess up. I know we have an emote. but if I do it again. For the future. For the future. What is that right there? I think it's a piece of the cloak. Perfect. There we go. Blue Town. Ah, blorf. Blorf, I blorfed it. Oh. I got most of it off. I got most of it off. I'll go back over my skin again. There. Man, this is, for some reason, this has been the hardest model for me to, like, stay in the lines. I don't know why. Doop-dee-doop-doo. I don't know why. Let me go back to my concept art real quick. In this picture, he has teal hair with teal eyebrows. I don't know if I want to do that. I might just make him black. All right. I think that's a good stopping point for today. For me, at least. Got things decently lined in, I think. Then I can work on some blending on the hat. I think the hat's going to be the funnest thing to work on this. Making this hat like kind of really bright because it wraps all the way around. It is a small model. You can do Rhonda's trick with a brush you do not like that is worn out and scrub the crap out of it. If the paint underneath is cured, the blorf on top will scrub off. I use a crummy synthetic makeup brush, and it works on paint I missed an hour past. Okay. When dealing with wipe your brush on a paper towel rather than your glove, you're not removing any pigment. Oh, yes. I see. Yeah, because I was doing it right here, you can see. Little blue lines. Yeah, this has been the hardest model for me so far. It'll come together, I think, once I spend a little bit more time on it. All right. I want to do a little bit of dry brushing I think. See if I got the idea of dry brushing down. So I'm going to use this big brush, right? It's not, I don't have a flat, like a large flat. Or should I use this one? This one I used already today. Let me check in the Ziploc. Ziploc. No. I mean, these brushes are nice, though. I will try one of these. I'll use this. I'll use this. So the idea, right, is that, yeah, this brush is just whatever. And so the idea with dry brushing, right, is you don't get your brush wet, and you put paint on your brush, and then you wipe it onto a dry paper towel until there's hardly any coming off. Oop. Test 1, 2. There we go. So you rub it back and forth on the paper towel until there's hardly anything coming off. And then you very little paint on the brush, dab it off on the paper towel, gently rub across just the surface of the mini. I'm a real painter now. I know this probably doesn't show up very well on camera, but oh, I guess you can see where the light brown is, but it just doesn't brown on brown. I mean, I have a light brown. It looks good in person. For some reason, it's obviously not showing up on camera. Oh, you can see it? Okay. Yeah, I know this is generally when new people are starting out, right? This is kind of the first thing they learn. Okay. I wonder if it's just my eyes are terrible. There we go. Hey, look at that. And then these are really, this is a great dry brushing like teacher, is this model, this topper. And you're just kind of lightly doing it, right? That's the idea. So it just barely hits on certain edges. All right, Quindy, have a good trip home. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for helping me. I appreciate it. Anything to help Monday go by, Like that. Because on the paper towel, this is what you do, right? Is you get paint on it, and then you do like this until there's hardly any paint left, like that. Thanks, Quindy. And then once this happens on the paper towel, that's when you whatever like dried paint is left just catches the edges. Is that the thinking? Tasmania. It's just gonna be whenever I have chance. Like right now, I'm kind of all caught up on mold making, and so now I can do some testing and stuff for ReaperCon, which is kind of what I needed to catch up on. So this is me testing cameras and lights, but also to be able to test this streaming setup for ReaperCon, so people can come in and paint and do things like that at ReaperCon. It'll be a nice little area to have. Plus, we needed a painting area here at Reaper, and it's nice to have the studio set up that way. Now, when you're done dry brushing, do you wash the brush? I just did, so I'm assuming you wash it just to keep it all clean. Right? And then dry it off and then store it. Yep, okay. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. All right, let me take this visor off. I need to loosen that. It's a little too tight. All right, let's put the mic back. All right. Where's my model? There it is. All right, cool. I'm glad I did some dry brushing. There we go. All right. Did some blocking in of this guy and practice some feathering today. Gonna slowly work on him. I can see that I need to clean up a lot of the edges on him. I messed with his eye. You can see I blurfed right there on his eye socket. But it's kind of darker right now, and then we'll slowly build him up like brightness wise. But we'll work on this guy. All right, we'll see who's on. Let's see. Is there a good way to store this guy? So he's in focus. Let's see who's on so we can raid somebody. And then drive home. Normally I leave like 30 minutes ago. Let's see. Blades 81. Studio J7. Steve Sketches. We can raid Steve Sketches. Steve Sketches. That sounds like a... We'll raid Steve. Thanks for helping me, Carrie. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Thanks for helping me. I appreciate it. I love all the help. Oh, we just got ready with Studio J7. Hey, Studio. What's up? I was just looking for a raid. We were just ending. Hello. But yeah, hope you had a good stream. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. We're about to raid somebody else, so that's okay. We'll keep this raid train going. You know what I mean? Time to raid again. Yeah, we were just blocking in this little red cap. Raid train. So we were just blocking in this red cap here with his red hat, blue overalls, ghoulish skin. So we started blocking him in and testing some. Actually, I was secretly testing some of this experimental, top secret experimental confidential paint that we'll be talking more about at ReaperCon here in a couple of months. A month and a half? 2 months? 2 months. So we'll be talking a lot about that here in 2 months. But yeah, I'm a noob. I'm still learning, but I'm happy to be learning. Hey, yeah, of course, Lady B, we're here. Let us know. Let us know. We're here. All right. I think we're gonna be rating Steve Sketches. He's a concept artist. Really, really awesome. He streams all the time on Twitch. Studio, thank you for the raid. It's always love. I was looking at raids and you came up, so um, you're on my list over here. So I was about to raid somebody, but thank you for the raid. I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. It's Monday. We still have all week. So we have Rhonda tomorrow and in the morning, and then Rhonda in the afternoon. So I probably won't be on after tomorrow, but I will probably stream again on Wednesday. And so yeah, thanks for the raid. We're gonna be raiding Steve, so let me start the raid and then we'll get out of here. Started. All right. Bye. Thanks everybody for helping. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for helping out, doing all the fun stuff. Bye. Boop. Started it. Ta-da. Let me go turn everything off. Yeehaw.